All right, we just had Nothing Is Forever by Crack and Smack There, and before that, Like a Heart Won't Beat by Skinny Palimbi. All right, so Graeme has just turned up in the Mojo hand to talk to us.
Hey, hi Dan.
All
Hi
right,
Faye.
yeah, because
No theme music.
you want some theme music.
I thought I'd have a big entry or something, and you invited me down here.
Okay.
I mean, I'm naked, like Rob told me from.
Yeah, well, if you want to see, if you want to see Graeme on the Mojo hand, it's also on video on Twitch. But make of what you will. All right, so we had some great news recently about the council consultation about the Water Lane Hall.
Yeah, we did.
They've agreed after a vote of the public, and 800 people voted, didn't they?
Yeah.
And the vast majority of them agreed that it would be great to keep the hall within the community and hand it over to a community group. And here you are representing Friends of Water Lane.
That's right, Friends of Water Lane Hall. Yeah, we're a group that I guess started probably about 3 years ago, when we learned that the promised new art centre that was going to be part of the new development in Old River Lane, when we learned that art centre wasn't going to happen, well, we kind of rallied round and said, no, this isn't right. No, we think something should happen here. At first we lobbied to try and keep the concept of that art centre going, but when it became apparent that there was no money, we thought, well, the next best thing is to try and take over Water Lane Hall, which is literally just across the street from this new development.
Yeah.
It's a hall. I'm not sure if everyone has been to it. It's I know you guys have been there. I know I've seen you do one of these evenings there.
Yeah, we did a thing with the Bish Bash. Yeah,
that's right. That was the young musician, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And but yeah, Water Lane Hall, 200-seat capacity, maybe a bit more than that, maybe 400 people standing. Nice big stage, and it's hosted.
It's a proper stage, isn't it? Like for theatre.
Yeah, I played on there, but it's like a theatre stage. It's got backdrop. It's got a green room on both sides. It's pretty big. I know we've had a number of bands on there. I've seen brass bands play there. There's lots of side rooms. I think a lot of people's kids have played there, had play groups there and things. It's been used as a real community hall over the last 100 years. But we have a vision now of resurrecting it as a kind of a home for the arts in Bishop Stortford. Somewhere that's halfway between a pub, say, and South Mill Arts, somewhere where theatre groups can perform and brass bands can rehearse and camera groups can meet and arts groups can hang paintings on the wall, where the music festival can have bands on. And we see it as an opportunity to really develop that hub for the creative arts in the centre of Bishop Stortford, and have somewhere they can rehearse and have somewhere they can perform, and basically provide a kind of a home for the performing arts right in the middle of town.
Yeah, I mean, as opposed to the South Mill Arts, which is a great theatre, this could be more available as a kind of grassroots and community group type of thing, and for bands and stuff like that, which can't really necessarily go to the full extent of a proper full-on theatre.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, South Mill Arts is a great facility. It's a 400-seater.
Yeah.
What we're missing in town is somewhere in the middle. No, you don't get to play a 400-seater unless you play a 200-seater. But even so, if you're a group that is playing bigger auditoriums like that, you still need places to practice, places to rehearse, and it's just not cost effective to hire that the top end place to do your rehearsals in when you could hire somewhere like Water Lane Hall. So we really see it as an opportunity to run this place and run it successfully, and really make a difference. And now, when you think about, many of us have kids that play the guitar, play the drums, play other instruments. Where are they going to go after they leave the music shop? Where are the places that they're going to play around town? They can't play in the pubs. They're too young. So somewhere like Water Lane Hall is a great outlet where we can put on those types of shows, where people can come, where kids can come and play their instruments. New bands form. I mean, how many new bands have started with kids that were age 17 and 18? And this is the type of feeling we want to get around the hall.
Exactly. So the great news is that there's now this opportunity, which I'll be honest, I wasn't sure would get that opportunity would come, but it's amazing that it is. However, the time scale is challenging, isn't it?
Yeah, well, we know that to renovate. So first of all, the hall is fairly run down. It was initially one of the areas that was designated for, I guess, demolition as part of the new River Lane development. and with the help, with a really strong help from some councillors and some council officials, we managed to move the red line around from the building. But that still leaves us with a building that's in need of around about £2.5 million worth of renovation to get it back up to spec. It's kind of been run down over the years because everybody thought it was going to be knocked down, and so it wasn't really invested in as it maybe should have been.
Yeah.
So now we've got a bit of a challenge to go off and get some funding. What we found last year when we started to approach funders was that it was really important for a group like Friends of Water Lane Hall to actually own the asset, and we found it very difficult with funders to get over the idea that they would fund a council-owned building, as you might imagine.
Yeah, because it could get pulled from under your feet at any moment, I guess.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And so we have been working with the council, with East Arts District Council, on a proposal to transfer the hall as an asset into this community group. And the community group is Friends of Water Lane Hall.
Yeah.
But we're a broad church. We have lots of representatives from different arts groups, different societies, who all want to take the hall over and make it successful. So what happened a few weeks ago, and no, thanks for shouting out for us, there was this public vote in Bishop Stortford about the future of the hall. Thank you to everybody who voted in it. I think there were 800 of us in total, and my understanding is 80% voted for the principle of transferring the hall to a community group like Friends of Water Lane Hall. So it's great that's happened. I've actually had the letter from the council now to say that that's happened and that's what they're intending to do. There are a few conditions around that. Obviously, they want to see that we can successfully form the charity that we need to run it. They want to see that we can successfully go out and start to fundraise. And then there are some timelines involved as well, as you might expect.
Yeah.
So they're a bit scary. We've got to raise quite a bit of money. Starting with around about £500,000 in the next 3 to 4 months or so. And the council have given us 170,000 to get started.
That's great.
So already we're down to 330,000.
That's great.
But we still got to go out there and find it. So
yeah, that's a lot of money to find. But we're a big town, and like I said to you before, I think there's 40,000 people plus in this town, and it doesn't sound impossible. It sounds very challenging, but it can be done. And that's
well, we have a catchment area in Stortford of around about 80,000 people.
Right.
So so it's not as impossible. And I think we will obviously try and do things like crowdfunders and local, I know a bake sale, maybe a quiz night, those sorts of things. But in parallel, we'll be applying for some of the bigger funds from, say, the lottery and other organisations as well. Some of those may take longer to come in just because they're much bigger.
Yeah.
So, but I think we'll be trying lots of different paths and avenues to get us going.
I know in terms of applying for grants, it takes months to get that through the process. So, you've got to just show that you're deep into that, really, because it's coming. It could come. It's not impossible.
No, it's not impossible. I think sometimes you just got to keep trying. Sometimes you just got to be there, with the right application at the right place at the right time. I think there's a lot of luck in it. But equally, I think we have a great business case and a great proposition for someone like the lottery to invest in. Yeah,
absolutely. So you were talking to me earlier about I saw you on the Bishop Stortford Community podcast about people who might want to help and get involved with the project and help in terms of fundraising and things like that. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I mean, so far our little group has been stalwarts of worked tirelessly, but they're all been, I guess, representatives of different arts groups. And now that we know we've got the go ahead and we need to do something serious, I think we need to get some new blood into our group and to expand it as we become a charity. And we need to move to an operational phase. So we're putting the call out now for volunteers to come and start to help us. I'm looking at the moment for volunteers with professional skills. So if there are any lawyers out there, conveyancing solicitors, architects, builders, project managers, program managers, accountants, finance people, business people, people who are used to going off and pursuing funding opportunities, people who've run successful crowdsourcing applications before, or crowdfunding applications before. Those are the types of skills I think we're going to need very urgently in the next phase. So we're putting the call out to those people. We are going to have a drop-in session next Thursday at the Apton Centre in town between 6 and 8 p.m. For any one of those skill sets that's interested in coming and meeting the Friends of Water Lane Hall in the flesh. There's about 8 of us in total, so we're going to try and get as many of the gang there as we can. But yeah, Apton Centre, Thursday the 19th of March, 6 to 8 p.m. We'll be there, and if you've got skills that are interesting, come on down. If you want to email me in advance, the email address is info@waterlanehall.org. And it would be nice to know who's coming, but no, please come down.
That's it. Yeah, definitely. So yeah, if you've got any of those skills and you can help Friends of Water Lane with that, next Thursday is the first opportunity to meet everybody and discuss all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're going to talk a bit offline about some things that Hoodoo Radio can do to help with the fundraising. And I've got a volunteer for something as well, but we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that. All right. So it's fantastic. It's a massive step forward, and there's a lot to do, but it's a very exciting time.
So exciting, yeah.
Faye,
come round.
So obviously we've been following the developments, and now you've got this. You've got this adventure that's about to begin. But in 5 years' time, where do you see it? I mean, for people that maybe haven't seen the plans, they may have seen the old building. What does the vision look like? And the people of Stortford and the surrounding areas, what are you hoping to offer them?
Well, we have a long-term vision of actually turning the building around and having the main entrance on Old River Lane. So we're looking at having a big glass front. We're looking to do some extension work, installing a bar inside. So we really want to make it like a next century type building with that looks really attractive. Because at the moment, I've got to say, it's probably the ugliest building in town. So we need to work on it. So if I was master of the universe and I had loads of money, we'd start that building project tomorrow, and we'd start to build it and make it look nice. And we'd like to make it, mirror, the new buildings that are going to happen on the Old River Lane site. Wouldn't it be nice if you're coming down Old River Lane and you've got the new development on one side and you've got something that's kind of matching it of the same quality on the other side? I think we have the opportunity to do that and make Bishop Stortford look good for the future.
Don't they, when they get new developers in saying we're going to take over this bit of ground and we're going to build this, and this on it, quite often they make a contribution, don't they, to the community in terms of a school, things like that.
Yeah, there is something called Section 106 money, and we're talking to the councils about that. I think that it's kind of stretched in what it's going to be used for, and I'm not sure there's that much from this particular development. But, there's lots of stuff around Bishop Stortford, so we're hopeful that something might come at some time from that. Yeah. And so that's the vision for maybe if I had lots of money. In the real world, we probably don't have that much money to start with, so we're going to start fundraising. We'd like to get the doors open as soon as possible, and we think there's probably about £500,000 worth of work just to get the doors open to meet health and safety requirements. So that'll get us in operation again to start ramping up. And then over the next 2 years, we're going to do some less essential, but equally important renovation, like fixing the roof, fixing the drains. And then maybe 3 years' time, we'll look for that big push to get the rest of the money to do the sort of the fascia and turn the building around. So it's going to be very much a staged thing.
Yeah, well, it certainly is something that I think so many, if not everybody, would appreciate and actually use and gain from in Bishop Stortford and the surrounding areas. To have somewhere like that it has so many uses, from theatre, music, arts. It's a place that we should all try and support. So, like Graeme said, if you have any of those skills, it's going to be a bit like DIY SOS in a way, isn't it? It's like totally, which Dan's got a lot of experience with. Have a word with some of the guys you worked with as well. But yeah, fantastic. I really wish you all the best luck. We're going to do whatever we can. I'm sure I know a handyman.
Can you fix a flat roof?
You also know quantities.
Accountant. Anyway.
Yeah. So brilliant. That's it. That's all we've got to say for now.
Yeah.
Thursday.
Apton Centre, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m.
All right. Okay. Thank you for coming along and talking about it, Graeme.
Thank you, guys.
We're going to play some tunes and have a chat.
The river bends way.